Roll Tide, everybody. We're live right now on Cover Crimson. It's the post-game show brought to you by Pearl River Resort over there in Philadelphia, Mississippi. If you'd have gone over hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 and change from Birmingham, and you took Bama and gave up the 36, you'd be sitting pretty right now. Bama with less than 3 minutes to go, 66-0. So we'll put the call line up. We'll talk to you guys. Been a tough week after the way that Alabama played against Florida State last week. I'm keeping an eye on Mississippi State and Arizona State. The Bulldogs might pull off a big upset. They just scored a touchdown, so lots of action. Michigan's at Oklahoma, but we're going to talk about Alabama and all the good things that we saw tonight against inferior competition. But I think a step forward for a lot of different reasons. So we'll talk about that right here on the show. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Get your comments ready. Get your phone calls ready. And we'll get this thing cranked up now. Let's go. What do you say, guys? Mick Gillispie, Roll Tide. Feeling a lot better about things right now as we kind of wind down the end of what is an absolute dominating performance for Alabama against Louisiana Monroe, a team that beat them in the past. And I don't feel sorry for Louisiana Monroe. I remember riding to the bowl game in Shreveport the year that they beat us and then putting up billboards so that we had to drive by them. No mercy. Just like Cobra Kai, no mercy, get them guys. Like to have to drive by your stupid billboards, even though it was back in 2007 and you rubbed it in, getting treated like the program that you are tonight. And honestly, I'm enjoying every minute of it. I hope Bama can put another touchdown on you just for making me go through that back in 2007. Because I remember I drove by and I just remember thinking to myself, payback is a boop. And today that payback is certainly being paid back. A lot of good things going on in this football game. I want to hear what you guys think. But first off, Bama dominating at the line of scrimmage, acting like they want to be there. I know that Louisiana Monroe doesn't have the players to match up one-on-one with Bama, but there was never a spot in this game where Alabama wasn't on the attack. We got to see all three quarterbacks. Do I think the season's fixed now? No, but I think that what I didn't like last week was the effort. And I appreciate Tom and Cole and those guys doing the game, and I think they're really good. But I totally disagree with those guys kind of brushing what happened last week under the table on the broadcast. Like, look, the reason that all of us are upset about last week is that we don't want to see any more of that. The Oklahoma, the Michigan, and then last week. And if Kalen DeBoer can't get this team to play with the intensity that we're used to, the discipline, the respect for the game, I was glad to see them score touchdowns and hand the ball to the officials. Thank you. Celebrate a little bit, but let's get back to being Bama again. So it was awesome in that capacity. And I'm just going to tell you, I really feel like today is a step in the right direction. And we got a big game coming up next week against Wisconsin. And, and we'll see if they're able to continue the intensity. But, I mean, when you put it on somebody 66-0, I don't care who it is. You got to do a lot of things right. So thank you guys in the comments section. I already see you guys. Roll Tide, everybody. Yeah, Michael, let's get set. I'm all about getting 70. I'm watching Mississippi State right now. I got a group of people from over at Pearl River. Show's brought to you by Pearl River. All my Mississippi friends, Bo Bounds and Matt Perkins and Steve Azar, they're blowing me up because they've been talking about this football game. So I'm watching this too. And I pull for the SEC in all these games. I hope we're back, Tall Dwarf. I really do. I I like what I saw, though, Austin. Roll Tide. I hope that. And I'll tell you what, man, it was good to see Keelan Russell in the game. Austin loved it too. Great effort today. I think that's kind of what we all wanted to see. How about the performance? I mean, I don't even know where to start on this one. And I'm about to put the phone line up for you guys to call in, but I got to start with Ty Simpson. I thought the game plan was a lot better for a quarterback making his second start. They decided to run the football. They stuck with the run. Last week, they ran the ball. They get it back. And then all of a sudden, you know, they just start to fall in love with the pass. And, you know, today they stuck with the run. So I like that. Second thing is that is I'm texting Shank and he's like, Ty Simpson's a really good quarterback. And I agree. You don't go 17 for 17. Give the guy a chance, right? Last week, they put him in such a bad position. I blame the coaches for that. Them telling us that they knew everything that was coming, and then that was the game plan and the performance that we had. This, and against a very inferior opponent, but still, this was a much better job. I thought Ty Simpson was fantastic. I don't even want to get ahead of myself here. 17 for 17, 226 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interception. There was a play where he scrambled in the pocket and threw a bomb, and it was a touchdown. They took it back, but I just wanted to see him be able to get out and make a play out of the pocket. He was able to do that. I thought that was awesome. Then the offensive line. And I thought the offensive line was brilliant today. They were just great. From Parker Brailsford over, breaking holes. AK Deer. Let's go. Oh, hey, we saw Keelan Russell, and now we see AK Deer. Woo-hoo! Man, that was beautiful. Sorry, guys. I just can't. And I was like, who's number 0? Whoa! Hey, I like what I see there. You deserve that. I want all you ULM fans, just remember that billboard you made us drive by back in 2007. Steel trap up there. Memory like an elephant. Love it, man. Let's go. One of these. The offensive line has been great. From the very beginning of the game, beating them up front, and then watching our running backs attack from the fact that Kevin Riley is our starting running back is the best thing that could have happened. Oh, he's not big enough. He's never going to survive. Maybe we should get him. He's going to go to Miami, but, you know, he's never going to play at Alabama. Then you put him on the football field, and he just busts his ass, and he forces you to play him. And the guy was running today with conviction. He was the way that he was following his blocks is how you do it. That's how you do it. How about Justice Haynes following? If Justice Haynes could have done it the way that Kevin Riley was doing it today, he would have played last year. That's how you do it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Justin. Local kid, hungry for the Tide. Exactly what we need out there. Also, you know, the other thing, too, is that we got to have those local guys that are proud to wear that uniform. When you get all these dudes from California and coaching staff from all over, they don't know what it's like to be at Alabama. They've been there 1 year, what it's all about. You got to have your Alabama guys, too. You got to have your Alabama guys that understand the way that it goes. You know, act like you've been there before. Play with the intensity and the discipline. It was before Nick Saban. This program's been this way forever. And there's been some games on the road lately that don't feel like Alabama football. But I'm going to give those guys right now a ton of credit because it's only one game against a team that's not very good, but it doesn't matter. the whole thing has been that you have to play against faceless opponents. You got to play against yourself. Watching these guys gang tackle, act like they want to be there, wear that uniform with pride. That's what I'm saying, guys. So the offensive line, the running backs were great. And let me tell you something. Don't tell me that Latsier Brooks is a backup. Don't tell me that. Because I don't think he is. 4 catches, 58 yards. The guy was running great routes tonight. Excellent hands. He needs to be in the game. And I don't care if he's taking playing time from Ryan Williams or anybody else. That guy, all we've heard about is how good he is. We saw it today. The dude can play. Rico Scott, give me some more Rico Scott. I thought he was great today. Isaiah Horton, hey, it was great to see him in action. Cole Adams doing your thing, man. Loved it. But Jeremy Bernard is a dog. 4 catches, 109 yards, 3 touchdowns. Everything on the offense goes through Bernard from a passing standpoint. And I think and I love Ryan Williams, but I think it's the best thing that could happen is that when your most talented player doesn't even play and you still score 73 and everybody playing your position did it better than you did last game. Competition only makes you better. Period. Defense. Let me go ahead and change this graphic right now. Let me put it up there. F for final. 73-0 Bama, sending a message to everybody. But they needed to send the message to themselves, not to us. And they need to bring the same intensity next game. And the game after that, they're playing Georgia. And every week when you wear this, they're coming at you. And you have to bring that. So, offense, A+. A+. I got no problem with anything I saw on offense today. Defense, A+. Winning at the line of scrimmage. Stopping the run. Affecting the quarterback. Interceptions. Doing all the stuff that you need to get in turnovers. Playing with intensity. From the very beginning to the very end. Didn't let them get in the end zone. Thought that was great. Special teams. A. Kicking the ball. I loved watching Cole Adams. Let's go. Let's return a kick or two. Even though he got clotheslined by their punter, but that guy's from Australia. He's one of those rugby guys. If you guys like that game tonight, give me a Roll Tide with a thumbs up. I'm going to take some of your calls, but I'm just telling you right now, I'm not looking at this, and you guys get in the comment section and tell me, I'm not looking at this and saying, hey, we're back. No, I'm saying we're back in the right direction. I'm saying we're back in the right direction. I'm saying that is what you do. That's how you do it. That's right. Let me put that up there. Thank you, Dickie. RMFT. You want to wear that uniform? That's how you do it. And then next week we got Wisconsin, 11 a.m. Bring that same. We're expecting that now. Capital RMFT. So they did their, you're exactly right. They did their jobs. Great way to respond. Instead of going and tucking your tail, everybody's criticizing us. Nobody believes in us. No, nobody didn't believe in you. You guys didn't believe in yourself last week. And then we saying, hey, that ain't the standard here. You guys lived up to the standard today. And I loved it. Loved every bit of it. So that's my thoughts on the game. Coaching, A. Offense, A. Defense, A. Special teams, A. Crowd, A. A. All right. Love the effort. Just need to play like this every game. Deere, Riley, Brooks. Yeah, look, I've said it before. The only thing that DeBoer and his guys haven't done is figured that the coaching part of it out. Oh, by the way, that's the most important thing. But they recruit the hell out of it. And watching Keelan Russell and watching Latsier Brooks and watching AK Deere, whoa. I mean, I loved it. It was great. I mean, watching AK Deere bust that run, man. Thank you, William. Roll Tide, brother. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Let me put the number up. I know you guys are ready to talk. It was so jammed last week. We had that loser Tennessee fan call up and play Rocky Top. What a loser. But it was funny. All right, let's go to the phone lines and get this thing started. Who's this and where are you calling from? Robert from Mobile. Is this the Robert from Mobile? Is this the Robert? Yes, man. I haven't heard from you and as my grandfather said, and a dog's age, man. What's up? It was good to hear your voice, man.
But also, I mean, these receivers, Deion Burks, 7 for 101 and a touchdown. It's a team that experiences who had a big game when we won. Didn't have a huge game, but he's got so many weapons that he can throw through downfield, and there just seems to be this sort of chemistry that's being developed. This was a huge game. This take the field goal, take the points. I think it's
Mm. Right. Thanks, Robert. They're saying they can't hear you, so let me can you guys hear Robert now? Still no sound? Can you hear him? Somebody give me a thing. You can't hear him? Need to drop. I don't know what the deal is. Robert, thank you, man. A great call. I wish everybody could hear you, and I don't know why they couldn't, but an awesome call. It's so weird. Yeah, so you guys can't hear him. Basically saying that, look, we got so much momentum going right now, and we got so many good, young players that this thing's, kind of turning around. Now, I don't know why you guys can't hear him, which is kind of weird because I could hear him, and I could hear him really well. And let me put another caller up. Don't know what's going on. Anyway, look, let's start with the fact that this team scored 70 points. They haven't scored 70 plus points in 52 years. Is that true? I can't. Now that's crazy to think of that. In 72 years to have that. I was totally impressed by so many different things in this performance. And I felt like this is something that we needed, man. I feel like this coaching staff felt the pressure of having to go out and win, and that it helped them a lot, and I think that's after the way that they performed that, what, we needed that. All right, let's see what we got here. Matt, super chat. Thank you, man. Roll Tide to you. Appreciate you so much. And Gage, thank you too, man. Who would have known I would see Bama win 7 natties before seeing them score 70 one time? It's the first time since 1973. Man, that is crazy. That is absolutely insane. I'm gonna try to reboot the phone lines here and see if I can get these phone lines going again, because I want to hear from you guys. I'm honestly just absolutely fired up about the way that things went tonight. And I know that I can't believe that you guys missed that call. Who did you guys think was the can you hear that? Tell me if you can hear this. So tell me you guys can hear that. Can you hear that? Comment section. Tell me. Can you hear that? Lose the earpiece. It's not the earpiece. You can't hear it. Okay. So weird. Clint is actually at the game. Yeah, I can hear you, but nothing else. That's so weird. Let me see if I can get Clint to jump on and get into this, because I know he's at the game right now. And get him up here. I feel like when you talk about the performance, right? How about the box score? 21, 21, 10, 21. That's how they got to 73 in this game. We got an opportunity to see all 3 quarterbacks, and I thought all 3 quarterbacks did a good job. Austin Mack was 8 of 10. Keelan Russell was 4 of 6, and then Ty Simpson was 17 of 17. And that's how you got the 73 tonight. Clint's about to jump on. He's at the stadium, and then when he gets on, I'm going to try to fix these phone lines, and so I can take your calls. I don't know. It's not this. It's something in this board, and I don't know what it is. So we're going to have it figured out here soon. What did you guys think about the way that we attacked? Turnovers. I loved it. I loved watching how athletic you can look when you go out there and play fast. Was great seeing Justin Jefferson pulled down that interception. I loved Rico Scott out there on the kick returns, on special teams. I don't know, man. Like when you talk about just a total domination, it was in so many ways. Let me throw that up on the screen. That's the box score right there. In so many areas, it was kind of refreshing to see us kind of get back. And here's the team stats for the game, thanks to ESPN. But dominated first down wise, 29-9. Third down efficiency, Bama was 9 of 12. They were 6 of 14. Bama had 583 yards, and the Warhawks had 148 total. I thought a lot about how the game went last week and where we were coming into this game, right? And the one thing that I've said, kind of like all week off, kind of off the air, was that if we're going to be successful, if we're going to have success, then the offense is going to have to really score a lot of points because, I just feel like that's kind of how things are set up for us, to have success is that it's built around the offensive side of the football. So we're a little bit light up front. We got hopefully Tim Keenan coming back soon. It was good to see LT Overton today making a difference up to, pressuring the quarterback. But you get a lead and all of a sudden you got to start throwing the football. That's when this team's the most dangerous. That's when you really can exploit the fact that you have so many ball hawks in the secondary that if you're able to attack and get points early, then you can start to use your defense in a way where you can really exploit the fact that that's where your strengths are. And Jack, I agree, man. This is a dress rehearsal for next week. And don't look past Wisconsin and start thinking about Georgia because it's not going to work like that. You're going to have to get past Wisconsin and you're going to have to bring the same intensity that you brought today to Wisconsin. Then you're going to have to then worry about Georgia, then worry about the next game, then worry about the next game. Like the problem that we have is, we're thinking about Georgia. Don't think about Georgia. Win the game that you got in front of you. And I think that I don't know that this team is, when Saban was head coach, he warned the team of that constantly. I'm interested to see how they play on the road when we get there, but I'm really interested to see how these guys handle success, because that's an area where I feel like DeBoer has really struggled is handling success. Beat Georgia last year, come back, lose to Vandy. Not ready to go. They beat Wisconsin last year, but with a backup quarterback, but, hey, it's Rambo. It's like, hey, play, fire, and we can be great. Thank you. Good to see you. All right, here's Clint. So I'm gonna get Clint up here, and then I'm gonna try to fix these phone lines. Clint, you were at the game. Good to see you. Your thoughts on things?
You can only take away so much from this type of game. But at the same time, I do feel like that Alabama did everything that it needed to do, considering the opponent, to really make you feel at least somewhat better about what happened last week. You saw the explosiveness with the offense. You saw the receivers making plays. The running game was more explosive. You still haven't seen, outside of the AK Deer late game, long run, haven't seen a ton of explosives from the offense. But at the same time, I do feel like that, guys looked – the offense looked like it had some juice to it. Ty played really confident. Anytime you go 17 of 17 for well over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns, 7 combined passing touchdowns from the 3 quarterbacks, all of them look good, I thought. That's as much as you could possibly ask. So while you still might have some questions or might have, not all the questions have been answered yet, you do have to feel a lot better about how this offense, how the defense, and really team in general is progressing in week 2 relative to week 1.
I thought the crowd was good today. I mean, I gave everybody an A+. What'd you think?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. The crowd was excellent. Granted, when you're in the press box, they do open up some small windows at the top where you can kind of get a little bit of the atmosphere, but it's not like the old press box where it was completely open, to the stadium where you can really get a good feel for the atmosphere. But from the limited that I could hear, great atmosphere, exactly what you want, especially for a game like this. The fact that it was at night, the fact that you had, it was the first home game of the season. People were energized, and considering what happened last week, I don't think. Was there concern going in? 1,000%. And I'll be the first to admit that. But I think that the crowd really responded well. The fact that they got things going early and often, you just saw guys making plays. And like on defense, it's amazing what happens. Like Justin Jefferson, the way he played tonight versus week one, two completely different players. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that, the opposing offense that you're going against, this type of game lended itself more to getting downhill, being super aggressive. But at the same time, it's amazing what happens when you just cut guys loose to go make plays. That's exactly what Alabama did. And they got the guys to go do it when you give them opportunities. I mean, I can't say enough good things about several of the young players. Latsier Brooks getting the start in the slot for an injured Ryan Williams. That was another kind of point for me that I thought was interesting. I did think he was going to have a sizable role. Just the amount of snaps that he saw, or amount of his snaps from a week ago that were in the slot, I thought, okay, he's probably going to get a role, but we didn't know if it was going to be Cole Adams. We figured it would be Rico Scott with maybe them shuffling, maybe Jerry Bernard inside. Maybe it would be Rico Scott. Instead, it was the true freshman, and, very Jalen Waddle-esque. He's obviously quite a bit bigger. Waddle was 177 to 180 pounds while he was in Tuscaloosa. Brooks is already 191 pounds, but just their ability to create yardage after the catch, bring in explosive elements of the passing game, and then also be a reliable blocker. The guy does everything well. He can play inside. He can play outside. So, just between him, between Kevin Riley and what he brought to the run game, just a lot of really impressive performances. Caleb Edwards getting his first career catch, which went for a 6-yard touchdown. That was great to see. But just Keelan Russell, man, that's another guy that I want to continue to highlight. Austin Mack looked really good. I don't want to just gloss over him, talk about Ty's night, and then talk about Keelan, but I will say just Russell, he looked a lot more comfortable than I was expecting him to. Was he perfect? No. But just his ability to escape, make plays on the move, find open receivers, you can tell this guy's got a lot of special ability. It's just a matter of time. I think that them getting him pretty much the entire fourth quarter to get a lot of reps, and it wasn't just coming in and simply turning around and handing the football off. It was allowing him to throw the football, 6 pass attempts. It's exactly what you're looking for, Mick. I was really impressed with him as well.
Yeah, look, let me try to fix this. I'm trying to get this all figured out so I can take some calls. So while you're talking, I'm over here engineering since we don't have a studio producer. I'll tell you, man, like I said it on to these guys. I don't think that this means we're back, but I think that this shows that things are moving in the right direction. I think the message got sent, because the message didn't get sent last year when we lost to Oklahoma. It didn't get sent when we lost to Michigan. The message got sent. A woman wants to give her lottery winnings away to buy out the AD and the head coach. Like, wake up, because what we saw last week wasn't up to our standards. This is our standard. And it's not about the 73 points. It's about the effort and execution. It's about wearing that uniform with pride and going out there and acting like you belong there. We don't care about your NIL deals. We don't care how much money you're getting paid or not getting paid. We care about that uniform. Score a touchdown, hand the damn ball to the official, and go to the sideline. This isn't Miami. And I'm glad to see these guys doing it the right way. I love it.
I completely agree. It's exactly what you were hoping and looking for. Like I said, there's only so much that you can take away from this type of game. Do I think, when you think last year to a lot of these types of teams, the Mercers and stuff, did Alabama, did they really struggle against Mercer? I don't think they looked as flawless as they did tonight. But, for the most part, they handled business kind of how they were supposed to. It was more so the teams that are capable of making you pay and beating you that they really struggle with, because it's like everybody expects you to win. But, even if everybody expected them to win tonight, I mean, ULM, they have a lot of problems on both sides of the football. They're trying to get it fixed. They were never going to threaten Alabama unless it was just a catastrophic type of performance from the Crimson Tide. Next week against Wisconsin's got a ton of issues. We'll be talking about that throughout the week, but they're a team that if you don't do what you need to do, they are capable of making you pay for it. They're a Power 4 Big Ten program, and while they have a lot of deficiencies, like I said, they can make you pay for your mistakes. So if they go into next week's game and they play, they're not going to be as flawless as they were in this game, but they just bring the energy, the intensity, and they limit or manage their mistakes and play winning football on both sides of the football, which I definitely think that they did in this game. They are capable of being a very, very good football team. But as I said, this can't be fixed after a really big, impressive win against Louisiana Monroe. Like, as far as our concerns, I bought into the team a lot. It was really ugly last week. I think everyone should celebrate because everything that they could possibly do tonight, they did it. So that is a box checked where you have to feel good. This team's not laying down. This team still believes in each other. They still believe in the coaching staff, but they need to continue to build on this. There can be no complacency, Mick, because this team has the ability, if they continue to play like they did tonight in the sense of focused and togetherness and all those things, this team can be really, really good, and they can go a long way. We just can't automatically assume that's going to happen anymore because we've seen way too many instances where we start to buy in and then they fall short. But I'm cautiously optimistic. And at this point, I think that's pretty much all you could ask of anybody. But, I got a text from EG. She was on the sidelines during the game, and she said that they were up big, and I forget which player it was. I'm drawing a blank, but Kalen DeBoer got after somebody pretty bad. Oh, it was Derek Meadows, because she asked me who was wearing 27, and with Meadows typically wears 30. He wore it when he was in at receiver, but when he's playing special teams along with Caden Jones, they both wear 30, so he was switching to 27. And she noticed that Kalen DeBoer, for one reason or another, I don't know why, but he was getting after Derek Meadows. So for anybody that thinks that Kalen DeBoer doesn't have it in him, he brought the energy and the passion tonight. I don't know if they caught that on TV, but I know she called on the sidelines. And that's what you want. You want accountability. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard is. Everything's going good, great, wonderful. You're up big, but kind of like Nick Saban, there's still a standard that you got to play to, even when you're up big. And so I was very, very impressed really all the way around. I thought the game plan was good. I don't think they revealed too much defensively, but offensively, they threw some wrinkles in there. And some people might say, okay, why would you do that when you've got Wisconsin, but more so even Georgia coming up? Why would you start to reveal this? You can stack or build off of some of these things. So some of the looks that you're giving ULM or putting on tape right now, you might have some things off of that you can really exploit when you play Georgia if they're preparing for what you were doing tonight. And not only that, but I think it showed the diversity of this offense, the play calling. I thought he was in a great rhythm, and guys were executing what was being called. Mick, I'm telling you, like I said, this team has a lot of ability. It is playing to that ability each and every week. One game against Louisiana Monroe is not going to do that, but you have to feel a lot better about how this team performed tonight than you did a week ago. That's for sure.
Yeah, I feel a lot better. I'm going to ask you something. Can you hear this?
I can.
Okay, good. That means we can take calls.
I don't know how that works, but yeah, we're good. We're ready to roll, brother.
Yeah. Anyway, look, I'm really happy because I just wanted to see the team look like the team that we know that they could be, right? And I'm not one of these guys that wants to see any of these coaches fail. I like Kalen DeBoer, but with the performances that we've seen, 5 out of the last 11 games haven't been great. But the Florida State game, and I'm not bought in yet. They're okay to me. Maybe they're better than I'm giving them credit for. But our effort wasn't up to our standard. It shouldn't be up to their standard, and it's not up to our standard. And this isn't Washington. I mean, there's a pressure job. This guy's not going to be rich the rest of his life to come here and go 500. He's not getting generational wealth, Clint, to come in here and, be everybody's best friend. He's here to win football games. And that's what we want to see. And honestly, like the intensity that they put on the field today, that's all any of us ever wanted. And so that's why I'm most excited about, just because of that.
It's not about what you do one time. It's about what you do consistently. And that's why until they show it consistently, you'll continue to hear me. I learned my lesson. I'm not buying into anything without some concrete proof, and one game is not concrete proof enough. So if you hear me continue to have some reservations, understand that I am cautiously optimistic. I like where this team is heading. But just because you're on your way don't mean you always get there. So that's
right.
Something that they have to understand. But like I said, I mean, the intensity was absolutely there. I loved that 3-2-6 look. It's in obvious passing situations. It's 3rd and long. And what Kane Womack wants to operate kind of out of a 4-2-5 at all times. But I like that he's kind of getting at least some variance as far as personnel where it looks like a 4-2-5 because they're walking Deontay Lawson from being an off-ball linebacker to on the line of scrimmage to kind of present a 4-man front, and they're bringing that 6th defensive back. I mean, not the 6th guy coming on the field, but one of their 6 defensive backs. They're moving him up to play dime linebacker in Bray Hubbard. You add some athleticism to the second level of your defense, and you still got a defensive back-like player in Justin Jefferson who's got that sideline ability. And so, I really am intrigued by that and think you can continue to build off of it and present some different looks. But what I will say, too, is I understand, like anybody that's still concerned about the pass rush, we still got to see it, Mick, because up to this point, that is the one thing that I didn't see. Now, LT Overton, once again, he caused some havoc. He was generating some pressure, but he could not finish. It's been a big problem for him. I hope he can continue to work on that and try to get it fixed. But another guy I want to shout out is James Smith, the 5-star, 3rd-year player.
Yeah.
He's getting the further he gets from his injury that he was dealing with throughout fall camp and really back in the spring as well, the better he's going to get. And I'm telling you, man, 4 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, was very disruptive, caused a lot of havoc for Louisiana Monroe. Doesn't mean that he's going to have that type of performance each and every week, but it was the same type of performance that we saw against a Power 4 Michigan back in the bowl game. So that's got to make you feel really good about where things are heading as well.
Thundar, a super chat here, and thank you, brother. Good to see you, Thundar, as always. Clint, stop beating yourself up about the intel you were getting. It's in the past. You owned it, learn from it, move on. That's what we players, that's what we want our players to do. So I agree with you, Thundar.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the comment. I mean, it's just one of those things where I hold myself, I can't ask players to hold themselves accountable and then not be willing to do it myself, or coaching or anything else. And, I always want to be trustworthy when it comes to the people who listen to this show. I always want to give you as accurate of information as I possibly can. And just, if they end up losing the game that I thought they were win or whatever, that's one thing. But the way it looked, it was just nothing like I had heard or with the limited I had seen. And I felt terrible for Alabama fans because we had kind of built up this expectation that at least in week 1, they didn't even come close to living up to. So I appreciate the comment. It definitely means a lot, but we just appreciate everybody being here. And I want everybody to know I'm always going to hold myself as accountable as I possibly can to make sure we're giving you guys the absolute best product each and every day that we possibly can.
You were mad at yourself all week.
I was.
Hey, and Matt, thank you for the super chat. Roll Tide. Let's go. I'm with you on that one. Thank you guys for sticking through the phone difficulties too. And I'm going to get to all your super chats and all your comments, and we're going to take some calls here. But yeah, Clint, it's time to move on. This was more like you heard, but you're right, they have got to generate a pass rush, or they're going to have to build big leads, and make it where you force a team to be one-dimensional. To me,
yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I also don't know, and this is probably a problem, because it kind of speaks to sometimes this coaching staff doesn't give the right opponent enough attention, thinking that it's going to – I mean, when I first heard about the Austin Mack situation, he came in the game surprisingly in the second quarter. According to Charlie Potter with them online, that was the plan all along. Now, when I first hear that, that bothers me because in my mind, I'm like, you were assuming you were going to be in a position where you could play Austin Mack and it wasn't going to threaten your ability to lose the game, or – they also claim that Ty Simpson's job is not being threatened as a result of this decision. Well, if you're putting him in and you actually thought the game could potentially be in doubt, you would not do that and risk a loss if it would have been LSU or Tennessee. So I didn't like that they automatically assumed that they were going to be in a position where they could do that, even though they were 100% correct. Alabama jumped out to a great lead. I think they make assumptions a little bit too much, but I will say the way that it ended up working out, you can criticize the thought process behind it because they were making assumptions about their opponent before the game even started, but it worked out how they wanted it to, and it did give Austin Mack extremely valuable reps. It's not these reps at the end of the game where, the other team's pretty much given up. It was in the second quarter. Yes, Alabama was up big, but he got to work with the first team offense. He got to operate as he typically would. And not only that, but he got to start the third quarter, the second half. So I thought that was great for him. And you got Keelan Russell some much-needed reps early in his career. So Ty Simpson wasn't always afforded that last year or the year before. They made sure that they were going to try to remedy that situation. Why? Because this quarterback room is extremely inexperienced. And you never know what's going to happen to Ty Simpson. And so they got to be ready, and they got to get their backups ready in case that happens. So the talent has been there all along, but, what I don't like about this coaching staff at times is they don't take every opponent as seriously as they probably should. But I'm hoping through this, we can't afford to take anybody lightly anymore. Because if we lose to a Wisconsin and everybody's thinking we're going to win and we're double-digit favorites again and it's in Bryant-Denny Stadium, it's going to go right back to being just catastrophic when it comes to this team and this coaching staff. And I don't know if they'll survive it. So this whole backs against the wall, everybody seemed to do the right things this week and rally, around each other. And the product was fantastic as a result. I just hope that they see this and they say, okay, doesn't matter the opponent. We do things the right way. We approach our business how we should. The results speak for themselves, and we get to have a little bit of fun kicking somebody's ass. So I'm hoping that they continue to take that approach, because if they do, they can be really, really good.
Yeah, they didn't look soft today, but they weren't playing a team that was going to be able to really bow up on them. So that's where the next thing. Next week, Wisconsin's going to be a team that's dangerous. They're going to give you a push back. They're going to try to run the ball on you. But it's a home game, and then after that, you're going to be an underdog in Atlanta, in Athens against Georgia, and but you can't look ahead. I mean, you got to take it one game at a time, just like you said. Any final thoughts, Clint, before I tried to do this phone line again?
No, just appreciate the effort from everybody. Appreciate everybody who is on the stream right now. And, this is one of those games where it's like, it was needed. They really needed a confidence booster. But at the same time, it's not something that you're super hyped up to see. And we all kind of said going in, it doesn't really matter how it looks or how good they potentially could look. It's kind of meaningless relative to, where they struggle and the types of teams they're going to be playing. But at the same time, you got to feel that they did everything that they possibly could, and that's all you could ask. So as we continue to move forward, the schedule's about to get a lot more fun. And, so is the coverage. So we appreciate everybody who's here for sure.
All right. Let me try the phone line again, Clint. And if it's good, then you bounce. If not, you got to stick around. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hey, Nick, it's Ice, man.
What's up, Ice? Can you hear Ice, Clint?
I can.
You can. All right.
Yeah.
Good. Ice,
So
Ice,
does
baby.
that mean I'm the first caller to – hey – does that mean I'm the first caller to actually hear Clint? Or?
Yeah. Well, no, you guys missed Robert, and he had a great call. Clint, good to see you, brother.
Appreciate you, brother.
Listening on Robert, I could actually hear him.